Hi, I'm Nathan, and I'm from the group 3, and today I'll be tackling about many of differences in knowing to exclusion of women in disciplines. Western women's movement's aim was to achieve equality with men. It implies that the rights given to men should also be given to women, but that doesn't mean that having the same rights as men provides the same equality, since the structure of the world is based on male ways of knowing. A great example of this is the education system. According to wikipedia.org, when it comes to the education system, both men and women are affected during and after their educational experiences. Men are more likely to be literate on a global average, although higher literacy scores for women are prevalent in many countries. Men and women find themselves having gender differences when attaining their educational goals. Although men and women can have the same level of education, it is more difficult for women to have higher management jobs, and future employment and financial worries can intensify. Men tended to receive more education than women in the past, but the gender gap in education has reversed in recent decades in most Western countries and many non-Western countries. First-wave feminism was a period of feminist activity and thought that occurred within the time period of the 19th and early 20th century throughout the world. It focused on legal issues, primarily on gaining women's suffrage. But as time goes by, things change. Women nowadays are being accepted by the society. In some ways, women are also given the same equality as men. Exclusion of women in disciplines. Knowledge, specifically in the sciences, are said to be gender neutral. However, many feminists argue that this is not the case. Male bias is present in different disciplines, from the topics one chooses to study, the kinds of research questions one develops, to the observable data that is deemed relevant. In a book of Carol Gilligan named A Different Voice, she highlights male biases in psychology. She notes that different psychologists often highlight women's failure to fit into existing models of human growth. All women were taught to have these problems and these delays, yet this conception of human beings showed that something was lacking in the analysis of women. Specifically, men were often used as the template for studies on human beings. The male as a dominant model made men and men's behavior the basis of assessing human development. Because women did not conform to this behavioral pattern of development, they are thought to be abnormal. Women were also missing from research studies on human behavior. Hence, it can be assumed that there is a gap in previous theorists' knowledge on the human condition.